Just when I think I have every camera accessory I need, this thing comes along and completely blows my mind. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, BMAC. So the other day I was scrolling through Instagram, like we all do for 1,000 minutes each day, and I came across this post for a new camera accessory hitting the market. Now, I've seen a lot of different ads, a lot of different posts for camera accessories that are supposed to be the next big thing. And usually I just ignore those posts, but this one caught my eye. I love the idea behind this camera accessory I'm about to show you so much that I actually immediately reached out to the company. I emailed them, asked for a little bit more information about their product, their brand, and after a nice conversation back and forth, I pretty much ended up loving everything that they were doing. So much so that I actually decided to partner with them to tell you guys about this thing. This is the Ultra Rapid Filter System. If you guys have watched me on this channel before, or if you're subscribed, you know I'm a huge fan of ND filters. I have an entire video on my channel breaking down ND filters, what they are, why you should use them, which ones I recommend. But in a nutshell, ND filters help cut down on the amount of light actually entering your camera. Basically, ND filters allow you to use camera settings that you otherwise wouldn't be able to use without one. So I love ND filters, but here's the thing. The hassle with ND filters is that when you're run and gun shooting it, you're dealing with different lighting situations, maybe going in and out of buildings, dealing with intermittent clouds. When you have drastic lighting differences, that's actually gonna decide whether or not you want an ND filter on your lens. And up until now, that's been a pain because you'd have to screw off the ND filter, put it away. That takes like 10 seconds if you wanna take the shot without one, or if you need the ND filter, you gotta take it out of your bag, screw it back on. You could end up dropping the thing, shattering it on the ground. But the rapid filter system, as the name suggests, is a revolutionary new way to either engage or disengage the ND filter without having to worry about any of that. You literally could put on an ND filter or take it off your lens within a fraction of a second, something that was very hard, if not impossible, to do before. And it works on pretty much any lens and therefore any camera body you could think of. I'm demonstrating on my old Canon camera here because obviously I'm using my Sony to film this video, and as you can see, it works flawlessly. But this right here, the ability to engage or disengage the ND filter literally in a fraction of a second, how on earth did I not come up with this idea? But let's talk about this right here, because there's a lot more science built into this hinge system than you might be seeing. So you have one part of this hinge system, the RFS, which you're gonna screw onto the lens itself, and then the other part, this outer part, is what you're actually gonna screw on the ND filter to. Once you make sure everything's lined up the way you want it to, you just fasten it down, make sure everything's tightened up, which you could easily do with some of the tools that Ultra gives you with your RFS purchase. And one thing I do wanna point out here is that the actual hinge angle is fully customizable. I personally have it coming up and over the top of the lens, but you could even have it coming out to the side, maybe even beneath the lens if you want it that way. No matter which hinge angle you choose, the nice thing is you do still get the up to 270-degree hinge rotation. Now, something I do have to point out here is that once you get everything tightened up and locked in, check this out. That hinge is not moving, man. That is staying exactly like it's supposed to. So you don't have to worry about the hinge actually flopping around. This thing is strong. I mean, that is not moving. The hinge itself is a friction hinge made out of aerospace aluminum, and I trust the build quality of this product so much that, check this out. I will actually even hold it by the hinge. I mean, this thing is incredibly strong. This is a pretty expensive ND filter on a somewhat expensive lens, and I trust the build quality of the RFS so much that I'm willing to do this with it. The magnet system that we have incorporated into the RFS is pretty impressive as well. The magnet is what actually ensures a tight connection around the ND filter so you don't have any light leak issues when you're actually engaging the ND filter. It really is such an incredible design. With the RFS, there are actually two different models available. We have the RFS, which is what I just showed you right here, and then we even have the RFS Plus. Now, the RFS Plus does everything the RFS does with the exception of one difference. You get an integrated step-up ring in the RFS Plus. And I gotta be honest, this is clutch. Take, for example, this situation right here. I have a 50mm lens with a 67mm thread size on the top of the lens. But let's say I wanted to use this ND filter, which has a 77mm thread size. In this particular situation, what you would usually do is use a step-up ring. With a step-up ring, I'd therefore be able to use a larger ND filter on a smaller thread size lens. But with the RFS Plus, you don't have to worry about any of that. The RFS has you completely covered with that integrated step-up. And with the RFS Plus, you actually get full customization, so you literally could take any lens size, any ND filter size, and combine them together to create a customized step-up combination just for you. So not only would you get that moving hinge that I love about the RFS, but you also get that integrated step-up so you could use a larger filter size with, like I said before, a smaller thread size lens. And this is especially important for when you're considering using wide-angle lenses. As you may or may not know, sometimes when you're using ND filters on wide-angle lenses, you could have some vignetting issues. To counteract that vignetting, what you usually would do would be use a larger ND filter on that wide-angle lens, which, based on what we just said, is why you probably would want to look at the RFS Plus. Even though you should be safe and probably won't have any vignetting issues on a prime lens with an 18mm or longer focal length, or on a zoom lens with a focal length of 30mm or longer, if you're using a lens that's wider than those, you probably want to look at the RFS Plus, therefore allowing you to use a larger ND filter on a wider angle lens without any vignetting issues. So should you get the RFS or RFS Plus, basically here's what I would suggest. Look at your gear collection, look at the lenses you're probably going to use most for run and gun setups, and then take a look at the ND filter sizes you're likely to use on those lenses. If the thread sizes of your NDs and lenses match up, then you'll probably be safe with the RFS, or if you're using a larger ND than your lens thread size and you have to step up, then take a look at the RFS Plus and customize what that actual step up would be. I think by now it's pretty easy to see why I'm calling this camera accessory revolutionary. I honestly think it's a camera accessory that's going to be pretty mainstream within a couple of years, if not just a couple of months. The fact that you can now engage or disengage an ND filter within a fraction of a second, and the fact that you can integrate a step-up ring if you have to do that, personally makes the RFS and RFS Plus a no-brainer and kind of a must-have in my gear collection. For more information on the Ultra RFS or RFS Plus, you guys can go to bmac.link/RFS or click the link in the video description box below. That link will bring you to the RFS product page where you can learn a little bit more about this particular product and hopefully cop a few for yourself. With the ability to now engage and disengage an ND filter so quickly, so easily, and so safely, I cannot wait to see the shots you guys are going to be coming up with. And now I'm going to go head outside and do a little bit of cinematic filmmaking with my RFS. Can't wait to do this outside, like in action. Honestly, I can't tell you guys how satisfying this is. Oh my gosh. Something about it. I could do this all day. I will see you guys in my next video.